Please stay with us as we stay on this topic now. In the occupied West Bank, the Israeli military army conducted a raid in the village of Al-Mughayyir on Thursday, searching for a Palestinian man accused of firing at Israelis near the Adei Ad settlement. One Israeli was reported lightly injured in this attack. The operation is the latest in a series of escalating tensions in the region. Meanwhile, a joint statement condemning Israel's controversial settlement expansion plan in the West Bank has been signed by 21 countries, including Britain, France, and Canada. The project, which aims to build thousands of homes in the E1 area near Jerusalem, has been criticized as a violation of international law and a threat to peace efforts. The foreign ministers of the signatory nations called for Israel to reverse the decision, citing its potential to undermine a two-state solution and fuel further instability in the region. Now we go back to our guest discussion with Professor Kobi Michael. Thank you, Professor Kobi, for staying with us. Now, with 21 countries condemning Israel's settlement expansion plans, how do you see these 21 countries, and do you think they have any influence to pressure Israel?
It pressures Israel, but it doesn't mean that eventually it will change the policy of the State of Israel. Now, we have to distinguish between the official policy of the State of Israel with regard to the settlements in the West Bank and some illegal activities that are taken there by a very small and marginal group of Israeli extreme youngsters there that unfortunately sometimes even reaches to terrorism. But this is not the policy of the State of Israel. Now, Israel became to be almost indifferent to the series of condemnations of the international community, and recently led by European countries and leaders, because in our view, this is an indication, first of all, of weakness and fear of these leaders that are not able to tackle the radical Islam and the violent Islam in their countries. And they believe that by appeasing the radicals in their countries on the one hand, and by attacking and criticizing Israel on the other hand, they will be able to calm the situation and to be safer and more secure. I think that they are wrong in this regard, but their policy, generally speaking, is also an indication to stupidity whenever it comes to strategy, policy, diplomacy, and to immorality when it comes to these aspects as well. And instead of joining Israel and supporting Israel, and instead of condemning the Hamas and all of the countries that support Hamas, like Turkey and Qatar, and instead of appreciating what Israel does for the sake of the entire free civilization, they prefer to do some other things. And this is something that does not add any respect to them.
And Professor, you mentioned that within Israel too, there are people opposing this. So how is it? Is this voice growing, or how are they? Is this voice that is in Tel Aviv? We saw protests taking place. How is this covered in Israel?
It is broadly covered, and I think that this is an indication to the vitality of the Israeli democracy. We are talking about a very vibrant, healthy democracy, the only one in the entire Middle East, the only one that is attacked by the other democracies, okay? Something which is not less than absurd. But at the end of the day, talking about democracy, we have an elected government, and the government has to make its decisions when the government sees in front of its eyes the broadest interests of the Israeli national security, and eventually they have to make very difficult, tough, harsh decisions, and they see and they listen to the protest But at the end of the day, they have to do what they have to do according to their understanding. Now, if at the end of the day, the public will not be satisfied from the decisions that will be made, so in the D-Day, in the election day, they will elect a different government and will throw this government from power. These are the rules of the game in democracy. I mean, the democracy is not run or decisions when decisions come to the level of national security. A country, a democratic country, is not run by protests and demonstrations. Okay, it runs by the responsibility and the authority that the elected government has. This is the principle, and at the end of the day, this is the responsibility of the elected government to deal with these heavy and complicated issues.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Professor Kobe Michael, for joining us and sharing your insight throughout this topic. Thank you very much. Now we move on to